Hey friends and followers of YouTube. Today I'm going to talk to you more about my disability. I've been talking to you lately about my cerebral palsy and when I move into the general. So so let's just get a refresh on what I said last time. I've said that when I was 7, I had hip surgery, and ever since then, I also have a sensitive back, but ever since I had hip surgery when I was 7, I've been having to have x-rays done, and I'm 17, almost, well, not almost, because, so next year I'll be turning 18. So when I turn 18, that means I'm going to the general. So when I'm at the general, that means I won't have to do x-rays so frequently, and I won't have to just do it for a checkup. I will have to do it when something is really bugging me or if something happens. So I will only have to do it if it's necessary. So I should only have one more visit for having an x-ray for my hips ever since I had my surgery. But after that, I should not have to deal with x-rays so frequently. I would only have to deal with it when I necessarily need it. But what I like to do for fun is I like to use weights. This one too. This one. And I just have to put that one down for now. And I like using this one. The purple one and the pink one are almost the same weight. It's basically the same weight, but telling you in two different ways. So like I told you about me moving on to the general soon. But rather than that, how I deal with my pain and my spasms. With my spasms, I just let them go freely. I don't touch them when they're going. Usually if I'm hanging around someone else and they see me doing it, they touch it and then it stops. But what I like doing is just letting it go, because maybe it would help it not come so frequently, not make it come back as often. But even sometimes that doesn't work. But I still let it go freely. And then what I do for pain is take baclofen, magnesium, and Advil, and baclofen, and other medications. But those are basically my medications for pain. And then when I was little, I had a stomach problem, which made me very gaggy and easily to throw up. So I have Privacin. It's a tablet that helps me digest whatever I put in. So basically, so it doesn't come out the other way. As you know what I mean. Vomit. But now I don't really vomit very much. I mainly just gag, but I don't really bring it up. I know this might seem gross that I'm talking about that, but I just thought I would let you know. And when I was little, I don't know if I told you this, but when I was little, I used to have the I'm talking about a small hole in my heart that closed on its own. And I think when I was little, they were talking about doing surgery, that they wanted to see, sorry about the jiggling of the camera, but they wanted to see if it would close up on its own. So they waited for a while to see if it closed up on its own, and it closed up on its own. So I'm good now. But also, with being premature, it comes with a cost. So I can't really show you my inhaler, but I'm asthmatic, so that means I have asthma, and I don't have the hardest of asthma. It's mild asthma. So maybe if I'm around smoke from a fire or smoke from cigarettes or like any type of strong smell, vaping, any smell, or like even perfume now, or Axe, like what, like the Axe, like the Axe, like the body spray that the boys use, like the men use, like the male uses. You get my point. But anyway, like any type of strong smell, I'm not sensitive with those smells, but sometimes my asthma makes it sensitive for me to be around those smells. So technically I am sensitive to those smells sometimes. But I told you this many times in my videos. I know I might sound annoying for saying this many times, but I have a recliner on my chair that I have to get permission to be able to have on my chair. So I went through a little meeting, like regarding on maybe why I need it and like stuff like that. And because I have not the baddest of curve in my back, but like I have like let's just say a sensitive back. So people that have more sensitive backs sometimes are allowed to have like a reclining ability to have in their chair. So I have that, and I also have eye level, but I don't have to have a special permission for that. I think it's just for the recliner because I want to make sure that it's used for the right people. Because the recliner, the recline ability on my chair or on anyone's chair is expensive to do. Any type of special extra stuff that you put on your chair is expensive. But yeah. I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna talk random. So sometimes, I would say most of the time, but sometimes when I'm in public, people will stare at me like not like what's wrong with you, but like what happened to you, and sometimes, especially if it's kids, sometimes I just say my legs don't work, and they're like, why? And I'm like, I have cerebral palsy, and sometimes I have to go into further detail, which I understand, but sometimes that's frustrating because then they don't understand the whole detailing thing. So then I repeat it, and then I repeat it, and then I just get tired of it. So I just say I have like most kids. Okay, here's the one thing that most people think. I don't know about everybody thinks, but some kids think my cerebral palsy is caused by leg, but it's caused by the brain. It's not caused by the legs. It's caused by the brain and the brain damage and the lack of oxygen that you get at birth. So it's brain, not the feet. I cannot show you my feet, but it's not the feet, it's the brain. And the other things that I get is, do you have a baclofen pump? And I do not have a baclofen pump. I do have baclofen out of a pill, like out of a, pills, like the powdery pill. the pill that has the powder called the what what I'm talking about. But anyway, the powdery pill, the stuff with the baclofen in it. That's the word that I was trying to look for. Sometimes it gets hard for me to pronounce my words, even though I just said that word. Sometimes I kind of forget it, or kind of forget the word that I was going to say. And what's the other types of questions? So some kids are like, why do you get so happy when on like a swing, when usually like I get more extra happy when I'm on a swing because here's why. I get more extra happy on a swing because I feel included this way when I'm able to go on swings and being able to use a play structure. Where kids might think, why is she, like most kids get excited over this thing, but I get more excited just because it's a little more difficult for me to be able to go on these things because they're not made for, disabilities, but they're starting to do that more. So, yahoo! They're like, I haven't got this thing asked before, but no, hold on. What was it that I was gonna say? They're like, why are, nobody's asked me this question before, but basically I'm gonna try to answer this as the best as I can. So my feet are more on an angle. So the cause of that is because since I don't use my legs as often, let's just say as often as you guys do, they're not the most used part of my body, so they kind of like disform itself. But I do have braces to help straighten them, but even then, they are not the straightest. But when I had my hip surgery, I think the doctor adjusted my left foot a little because my left foot is straighter than my right. And, I don't know why this video is so hard. Like, I'm losing some things that I could say because I've been making a lot of these videos lately. Doctors asked me, like my doctor asked me if I wanted to have surgery on my feet to help them straighten, but also there comes risk factors with that. I want to be able to have straighter feet and that, but I also don't like wearing my AFOs. But I'm happy with how my feet are. But they asked me if I wanted to do surgery on them. And I'm like, I don't use them very often to be able to do that. And I'm fine with that. So, I'm just not going to get it done because I don't use them as often. And it's not gonna hurt me if I don't get them done. Like, it's not going to harm me if I don't get my feet fixed. Or it's not gonna harm me if I don't get my back fixed. I mean, if it gets painful to tolerate every day and to be able to keep my head up, then yes, I might have to do something about it. But as far as I know, and as bright as my future looks for me so far, I'm probably not going to have the back surgery, but you never know. But let's just keep on the positive side. I hope I don't need it. I don't know what else to talk about. Like, I cannot show you this, but maybe I can show you in the next video I'll do. But I have a bed that it's a bed that has a rail, and it goes up, it goes higher and lower, and it sits up and it brings the feet up too. So it's an adjustable bed for me. And then I also have a weighted blanket of 12 pounds for me to use. And I do use a heat pad. And I sleep with two stuffed animals. Like, I sleep with one underneath my arm to support my arm, and then I squeeze my teddy bear just to help keep my arms out of the way, or like keep them from, because sometimes when I'm laying down I kind of don't have enough control to watch over what I'm doing with my hands. So sometimes my hands are a little bit more noticeable with my CP when I'm laying down. So sometimes I could accidentally hit my face if I'm asleep with my hands or something. But mainly when I'm laying down, it's mainly my legs that have those issues. I feel like sometimes I'm a little bit more spastic in my legs than I am in my arms. Okay, I don't know what else to talk about, so I'm gonna end it here. But if you have any suggestions of what I should talk about, so I don't keep talking about the same thing, then please put it down, because I like talking about the same stuff, but I've been having a few videos like this, so I want to maybe put more questions down for me, or some things that I should do to make my YouTube a little more exciting and probably get more subscribers. So if you guys have any questions, please put them down below. And also a last thing that I forgot to say is that when I was younger, I had worse asthma, so I used to have this I don't remember what it's called, but it was a machine that I had to go on with one of those breathing thing, and I would be on there I would use that for an hour to help me with my breathing. But that's the end. If you guys have any more questions, like I said before I put my last thing in, if you guys have anything else that you guys want me to answer, or any more things that you want me to do or suggest that I do, please comment. Okay, bye for now.